4, 3, 2, 1.
Whether you've been married 1 or 20 plus years, at some point you realize you married into crazy. And that's what our show is all about. If your marriage or relationship is compassionate, real, accountable, zealous and yielding, or just plain crazy, Snooks and Lovey offer love, laughter, and a dose of reality as they unpack this thing called marriage. Sit back, relax, and get your ear hustle on. It's time to start the conversation.
Welcome back to another episode of the Married into Crazy podcast with Snooks and Lovey.
I'm Snooks.
And I'm Lovey. Hey, we want to welcome everybody back to another exciting episode. This is a podcast, if you haven't been here before, that's all about marriage. As a matter of fact, it's about a marriage that has been together for 28 years.
So we've been married for 28 years. You better say it with some enthusiasm. We've been together for 29 years. And actually almost, it's going on 30. No,
it's going on 29
years.
29 years. And so what we want you to do is do us a favor. Go over to marriedintocrazy.com and look at all the different ways that we bless marriages. There's so many different things that we do, but it helps us because we want to continue to grow our marriage. But then we do all of this because we believe in the covenant of marriage. Mm-hmm. And we wanted to be that couple that we needed when we almost got divorced.
Yeah, 4 years into our marriage on our anniversary at Morton's while he was eating spinach, cream, something, whatever. I asked for a divorce. And, I said that because he loves to put that in there. If we could have violins playing when he's talking, probably would, but I beat him to it, so whatever.
So what does this tell you, fellas? This lets you know that
don't go to Morton's.
After 28 years, I finally have her trained. She finally says all the talking points that I think are, I'm just playing.
I'm like, I could be quiet then, though.
No, but do us a favor. Definitely go there and don't forget to hit subscribe. Wherever you're listening to us, subscribe. If it's on your podcast venue, if it's on YouTube, subscribe and share it with a friend so we can increase that discoverability, so we can expand the conversation to include more people. Mm-hmm. The more you subscribe and share and get more people, the wider it is and the easier it is for people to actually find the Married into Crazy podcast.
Yeah. So before we get started, I just want to just kind of recognize my throwback.
Oh, old school. She got the old school shirt on.
Yeah. Still rocking it.
And I've got the new school. I'm excited to show everybody. Look, I've got a shirt that says, "Loving my amazing life with my crazy wife."
And crazy is an acronym, stands for compassionate, real, accountable, zealous, and yielding. I was looking for that.
No, it's absolutely true. And it's, so when you go to the website, you'll see that there's a store. There's a variety of different gear that you can purchase, whether it's housewares or different things to let people know how crazy, how compassionate, real, accountable, zealous, and yielding your marriage is as well.
Mm-hmm. You want to go?
What do you guys think? Go for it. Go for it.
No. Okay, so I wanted to kind of if we can just kind of get into it.
Let's get into it.
Okay, so wanted to talk a little bit about the Z in crazy.
Oh, okay.
Being zealous. So, how zealous are you?
Depends on what we're talking about. Look, if it's football season, and the Steelers are winning. I'm zealous. I'm excited. I'm enthused. I'm all in.
Actually, it doesn't even have to be football season because we were just talking about the moves that the teams were making and the draft next month, blah, 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 whatever. Believe it or not, I'm in on all of this. So Lovey can talk to me like I'm one of his friends when it comes to football. So I'm just saying, I'm on point when it comes to that. So I got the equal zealousness.
She does. As a matter of fact, earlier today I was scrolling and looking at the Aaron Rodgers sweepstakes. And I don't even know how that's a win. But anyway, we haven't got him. We're still looking for. Hey, anybody out there that's listening, if you can throw the football like 30, 40 yards with a little bit of zing, Steelers need you. Wow. I'm just putting it out there.
Okay. When I see Tomlinson, I'm going to tell him he was talking smack.
Coach, I love the team. But anyway, we're not going to go there.
Yeah.
We'll save that for later.
Okay. So, I like I said, I wanted to talk a little bit about zealousness or being zealous. So, I have a friend who.
Wait. Before you go there.
Okay.
It is March right now. So March Madness is going on. If you want to know what we mean by zealousness, watch any of your friends that are all into March Madness, that have their brackets set. They're watching their teams. They're looking for the Cinderella. Everybody's just glued to the television sets, to their phones.
They're talking about it.
They're talking about it. You know, they look forward to it. They wake up
and
they can't wait to see what's happening with their brackets.
Yeah.
That's zealousness.
Have that energy, being enthusiastic and having that passion for it. So
back to your friend.
Back to my friend. So we were kind of talking a little bit, and he's kind of feeling a little bit down, and I was like, what's going on, whatever. And he was just telling me how his wife, she got a promotion. She's really excited, and I'm excited for her too. And so he was like, yeah, it's cool and everything. And I was like, well, why are you not happy about
promotion, more money in the house?
Because, I mean, it's been something that they've been talking about for a while. He was very, very supportive of her applying for the position. So he says, I am happy. I'm happy for her and blah, blah, blah. But I feel like I'm being replaced. And I was like, wait, hold on. She cheating? And he's like, no, not like that. It's just like, he's all, whenever she talks about work and where she, what she's doing, projects, whatever, kind of like you were just talking about the brackets and stuff like that. It's like she goes in and she's like real excited about it and stuff like that. But he's like, he never feels like he gets the same energy that she puts into her, for her job. So I was like, well, I mean, maybe because it was about the promotion. And he's like, no, it's been going on kind of like that for a while. So I started thinking about the times that we were together and just kind of remembering like some of the conversations that we had, and and so I understand what he was talking about, because
I'm about to get put on blast.
Face lit up and everything about, yeah, this, that, whatever, blah, 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 such and such and such. But when it came to like the home life kind of stuff, it was like,
didn't have that same energy.
He's kind of, or yeah, something along those lines. So like I said, just kind of recalling some of the previous conversations that we had. So I told him, I says, well, I don't know, I don't know what to tell him. And I said, well, I asked him actually, did he, like, what does he do? Like to be trying to engage or whatever. And
trying to draw her back in.
And he said he just kind of feels like sometimes he just kind of gets shut down because she's too tired or something else has to be done or whatever. And he's like, how long am I supposed to just do that? And so I kind of was feeling, well, I won't say kind of, but I was feeling bad for him because, I don't know, I hate to say it, but typically it seems like it's the lady who is having this conversation with me versus what the man, you know what I mean?
You think so?
Sometimes, you guys have a reputation for not seeming all in as far as like.
No, true. And there's a lot of comedians that actually, there's a comedian, last name Yo. I can't think of his first name. I think it's Michael Yo.
Maybe it's Michael.
And look, to show what we're talking about, I think we need to actually show this clip. You ready?
Can you see his name?
I can't.
Okay, anyway, go.
Here we go. Watch this. This is what we're talking about.
You got married? Yeah. Well, not excited. Okay. Wow. I like married. By your response, let me guess how long you've been married. 15 years. Ha! He said, ha! How long, sir? 22 years. All right. Hey, how old are you, sir? Oh, all right. Oh, 55. What's the last thing you bragged about? His hot wife. Yeah, his hot wife. Hell yeah! Woo! That's what's up. He has no emotion. He just.
But that's
okay. Go ahead.
No,
No,
ladies
I
first.
was just gonna say. So you just kind of proved my point with that. Like, she was the one who said the last thing he bragged about was his hot wife. He had nothing to say. He was just like,
You see the look on his face? He was like,
well, I
no
mean,
expression.
you didn't even, yeah, the comedian, something. He's no expression. I mean, and maybe because he was in a club or around comedians or whatever,
Maybe
other
been
people.
embellishing just a little bit.
But you could hear his tone. He was kind of flat. So, I mean, things like that. Sometimes in life, there are things that are happening in life and you're super excited about it. And, oh yeah, I'm this and I have this position. And, we brag about that kind of stuff and what the positions that we have. And, oh yeah, my kids graduated here or did whatever. But when it comes to your spouse, oh yeah, that's my wife. Oh yeah, that's my husband. I mean, there's none of that. You don't feel that.
And I get what you're saying, and it's funny.
Is it?
Well, it is because now I'm wondering, like, okay, over the last 28 years, do you feel like we've actually had that
Dynamic? Heck yeah. Almost said the
she
double
said-
hockey sticks.
I mean, did you see the amount of enthusiasm and zeal with what she said? That she was like, oh, heck yeah.
Yeah.
Me or you? Which one?
I think we both probably been guilty of it. But you definitely.
Oh, like get into the job or into the...
Yeah, whatever the project is, whatever
You know-
you got going on, when there's some successes behind it, or you have that. When you were coaching volleyball, you had that. It was like, oh man, whatever, and
That's true. I remember coming home. I was so excited to tell you about the day. Like, oh, and then we did this, and then we played this team, and this is what happened. And you wouldn't believe what so and so did. And I get that. I know I've had those moments of excitement when it comes to, like when I did the TED Talk, and like you said, like there's different accolades. Now I'm starting to feel like,
little dude.
like your associates, your friends. Like on the other side, like I'm his wife. Like, okay, when we had things that were happening, like winning President's Club or these different things, it's like I'm excited. But then coming home, it's like, oh yeah, well, yeah, I got to do this, that, other, or
It's kind of flat. Like
Yeah.
It's like I don't know. It's almost like with work and the projects and the other stuff and the volleyball and whatever's happening, you get to do that. That's so fun. Oh my gosh, I'm excited about it. But home, wife, I gotta do this, or I have to do, it's like it's that I have to do it versus I get to, not so much that I'm excited and looking forward to it, but it's my obligation. I have to do it.
But okay, on the flip side of that, I mean, I think is it just the individual or is it going to be the situation? Because I'm
do you
thinking like there's been times where, like, if you're going to be excited and be truly zealous about the relationship, it should be all things, like all encompassing, right? So that means that, oh, when we get with the family, we should be excited about getting with the extended family. We should be excited about, when we go on I take you to a function or whatever. So I think it goes both ways because there's times where you're like,
I thought you was gonna say it when you said the whole family, and I was like, ain't nobody think about them kids.
no, I'm just talking about like relatives, in-laws, holidays.
I don't know. I feel like that's different from. I feel like it's kind of it is different for me because I'm thinking about our dynamic. Because there are so many times where I'm like, dang, you don't even act like you that happy to. I mean, I won't say there is not a lot of times. Lovey, I will say, he's very.
Choose your words.
Yeah, choose my words. It's going on record now. Lovey's very, very zealous about, he has no problem showing love. He has no problem, being affectionate and stuff like that. But there have been times, like you said, in our 28 years of marriage where I'm like, bruh, are you married to this or are you married to me? And I'm going to keep it 100% real, being very transparent, even with MIC, Married into Crazy. There have been times where I felt like, you were so excited. You were more excited about this space than this space between us. You know what I'm saying?
No, I mean,
and
that's real
it
talk.
wasn't.
No,
It's
I know.
not
I'm
about
just
shots.
playing.
Okay.
No, I'm just playing. No, and you're very. I'm thinking back to the marriage conference when we had the Winter Ball and marriage conference for like 6-7 months. All the planning, and it was just so excited about the different levels. Every win, every a sponsor or a speaker committed, under contract when we got the band, and it just felt so good. It's like there's a reward system that's almost immediately gratifying.
Mm-hmm. I mean, and I feel like
and marriage isn't always immediately gratifying.
No, it's not. And there will be situations and times where when you're planning something that's big and, like you said, there's that reward for it. I can see that taking over because there's a deadline and it's a hard deadline. We got this and we got, but when it's an ongoing thing, if it's 28 years of that, then that's totally different from isolated situations where I'm feeling like, do I matter? Am I just here to sit next to you on the couch, or am I here? What am I here for? If I'm seeing you be zealous and excited and good energy with everybody else. There's a great passion for whatever this is. But when it's my time, or when I feel like I want, hey, let's slow dance, let's whatever. And you're just like, oh, I don't got time. I'm tired. I don't. So I could, that could wear a person's confidence down,
I think you're absolutely right. And I know I've been guilty, but just let everybody know.
I said it goes both ways, both of us. So
everyone's
tell
gonna
me.
walk away from the episode like,
Lovey.
why is she with him? No, I'm not going to point out anything in the past with you, but you made me really think about.
Maybe sound petty.
No, but yes, Queen Petty over there. No, but I think that what you're talking about, or at least what we're describing, are those dopamine hits, right? So, everybody talks about the adrenaline, the excitement, the different things that people feel, but I think this is akin to the dopamine hits you get when you get that immediate reward. I talked about immediate rewards, right? Like it's because all of a sudden you're hitting on those receptors that gives you the reward, that feeling. And so when you don't, like you said, you don't get that over 28, 29 years consistently. There's moments. So you kind of get used to it. So when something does give you that spike, you're like, oh, I'm all in. And football does that, basketball, going to the casino. Even when you eat sugar, when you get these cravings, it gives you those spikes that you look forward to. A while back, if you go in the archives and do a search on, I think we called it Dino moments. Mm-hmm. There was a thing, you guys remember to think back to the Flintstones. For those of you that are millennials, go on YouTube, look up Flintstones. But, Fred had a dog named Dino. It was a dog. It was a dinosaur. Had a dinosaur dog named Dino. And in the beginning of the show, it always showed him like coming home, and Dino would bust down the door and super excited and attack him and would be looking all over his face and all that. And we talked about how we need to have those Dino moments. When you come home, you want somebody to greet you, to be excited about seeing you. And that's effectively what we're talking about. Like, how excited are you? How many Dino moments do you actually end up getting?
Mm-hmm. So I think and you kind of said it too, a little bit, touched on it anyway, about the familiarity. Say it, familiarity.
Familiarity.
There you go. So I feel like could be that there are in relationships, you mature, right? And so not necessarily like you're trying to take your partner for granted, or but in some people's minds, like, oh, we've been together for so long, all of that is not necessary. So you just think that,
or I'm just used to it.
We're set in, oh, we're solid. I don't gotta do extra. I don't have to, because we're
bathe,
we're
brush my teeth.
No, that's still required.
Wear clothes that fit. What?
But those are that could be a thing where it's not necessarily for lack of love. It's just because we're set, we're good, we're comfortable, we've been together, our relationship is established, and now on to the next. Not like, okay, I got you, and move on. I mean, maybe some people are like that. So I like to think that that's not how a lot of, for my friend anyway, maybe that's not how that what she's thinking, like on to the next. But that whole part of
So what are some steps? So let's give some concrete
you
steps.
didn't even let me finish.
Oh, sorry.
No, that's okay. Go.
What are some steps to actually help people move beyond that so that look, you're going to fall into the trap. It's going to happen. If you're with each other any period of time, those moments of I'm going to call them mediocrity. Those moments of mediocrity, not that your relationship is mediocre, but that we get caught up in the rigmarole of the day-to-day and the minutia of life, and you kind of get into a rut. They happen, but how do you pull yourself out? What are the things that we can do, or several things, that whatever comes to mind, to either A, avoid the rut, or B, pull yourself out of it?
So I feel like for us, we rely heavily on the check-in. The check-in it keeps us grounded, and it lets me know, like, there are things that he's like, hey, are we good? Or I say, hey, are we good? And he may be like, this is bothering me, or blah, blah, blah. And so we have those moments. I don't feel appreciated. I don't feel whatever. Not accusatory either. You never, we make sure we don't ever use that language. We try not to. But we do our check-ins, making sure that each other is okay. How can I be a better wife for you? What does that look like for you? Because if I think and I'm showing up, I'm like, I'm knocking it out the park. And you're like, substandard, subpar, whatever. I'm like, oh, okay, well, let me fix it, because we are obviously not speaking the same language or doing the same whatever. What I'm communicating is not going over to you. You're not receiving it,
No, I feel you. And I think the check-in is absolutely crucial. And that's something that we coach as well when we're working with the couples that we work with. And even some of the individuals as they're trying to actually get to the point where they have that significant other. But one of the other things too is just ensuring that you're spicing it up a little bit. Like if you feel, look, you want a barometer, you want to really feel the temperature in your home. If you feel like you're bored, times that by 5, and that's probably what your spouse is feeling. Right? So if you feel like, oh my God, I'm just so tired. They're like, then that means that they're probably that times 5, if that's what you're feeling. So spice it up. What would you do in those moments, right? And I'm not just talking about the sex. I'm not talking about the bedroom. That's always nice, but that's what people always allude to. Like, spice up your sex life, do this, that, and the other. There's so much more to marriage than the sex life. That is just a sliver of, a true committed relationship over time.
Well,
how can there needs to be spice in other things. Like, okay, hey, you know what? Let's go try a different restaurant. Let's go try a different type of food. Let's go try. The other day, we did the Mediterranean food.
It was so good. Oh my gosh.
Amazing food.
Really good.
Called the Mix Up here in Galt, California. Amazing. And no, they're not paying us. They should, because anyway, but it was something new, something different. And we looked forward to that. It's like, oh, you know what? Spicing it up, doing something a little bit different, but also going places, doing things. It doesn't have to be an elaborate vacation where it's like, oh, we're going to go to Turks and Caicos, or we're going to go to, Zanzibar. I don't know. I'm trying to think of something exotic, but I don't know where that came from. But you know what I mean? It could be just like, you know what? When's the last time we went to the park and sat on the swing and just hung out without the kids?
Yeah.
Just doing something different.
Yeah, that's definitely.
But I mean, take that idea, that rationale, and apply it to so many different things. How do we make spring cleaning even more fun? How do we do these different things? And it's just a matter of mindset, quite honestly.
So I was going to say, go back to something that was addressed at the winter ball and conference last month. Create something together. If we're creating together, then because I see how excited you are with creation, right? I see how excited you get when you're creating things and you're seeing stuff fall into place, or your partner, your spouse sees that part. So why not create something together so that they can feel part of, and we don't have this lack of zeal. You know what I'm saying? Or feeling like there's a lack of zeal or whatever.
It starts small. And I'm not saying, we got to sit down and
have
a business. We got to come up with a business plan. No, get a puzzle. Go to the store, get a puzzle, and get a little space, cardboard, whatever, something that you would have, and that you just come together and just figure out how to put those pieces together. And what kind of conversations will get sparked over the puzzle. And I think that could be a lot of fun. Like, oh, did you put some more pieces in there?
Yeah.
Do we do that together? And don't let it just be we need to go to Netflix. We got to watch our show together.
I mean,
that's cool.
I like that.
We do like that. But don't let that be the only thing. Because even then that becomes, routine.
Takes the place of the creation.
It's about that zeal. Get that. What is it about? And actually I'm going to say, take a step back. What gets you excited about March Madness? Because people get excited every single year. What gets you excited about football season? And heck, rosters are changing all the time. So you can love your team, but the people that you loved last year may not even be there. But you're still excited. So what is it about that? And what clues can you get from that and apply it to your marriage?
So I was going to say a good exercise actually could be to take some time, 30 minutes. Maybe you don't need as much time, but sit down and write down together. Well, he has his, you have, or you each have your own paper or whatever. What about your spouse excites you?
Ooh. Okay. And don't weaponize it. Do not weaponize it.
No, but what about them excites you? And then kind of build from there.
That could be very cool.
I think we should do that.
I like that idea.
Okay.
So look, here's some ideas, right? But it's at the end of the day, we want you to have an amazing life with your crazy spouse, right? And that compassionate, real, accountable, zealous, and yielding spouse, but really emphasize the zealousness. There has to be a genuine, I can't wait to see my husband, can't wait to see my wife. Mm-hmm. And we know we're not like Pollyannish to where we think, oh, this is going to be every single day. It's not going to happen every day.
No, it ain't. But it should happen.
But exactly, it should happen. Mm-hmm. Look, you don't get excited about, your team all year long because you know what? Seasons change. And then in the off season, whatever it may be, you've moved on to something else. But isn't it funny how you can always find something else to be zealous about? Oh, it's no longer football season. It's now basketball season. And now you find zealousness for that. Oh, it's baseball season. Then you get zealousness for that. I know I'm using sports. Mm-hmm. It could be anything.
Yep.
Right. So, it's coaching time. So whatever it may be.
Just don't let that thing replace your spouse or your partner. That energy that you give that thing, make sure that you have some for your partner, because you don't ever want your partner to feel like they're left behind or that they don't matter.
This is a perfect time to quote my good friend Joe Certain. There's a retired firefighter in the Bay Area, really sharp guy, great with his money. His wife passed away a number of years ago due to cancer. And to this day, he still says, date your wife or somebody else will. And I want to extend that to our conversation where date your spouse or something else will. Mm-hmm. Sports, hobbies, businesses.
Yep. Date
your spouse or something else will.
That's right.
So I think we're good. So let us know how we did. You know what?
I think we're good.
Reach out to us at coaching@marriedintocrazy.com. Respond to wherever you're seeing this in the comments. Drop a line. Let us know. What are your thoughts? What can you do? What are you doing to make sure that you have that zealousness, that excitement, that enthusiasm in your relationship? And if it hasn't been there, let us know. Did this conversation help you? Did it give you a spark to go and revisit that with your spouse? And what are you doing to make some changes? We'd love to hear anything that you're doing. And if you have some ideas for future topics and episodes, please reach out. Let us know.
Yeah.
So anything new? Ready to go?
I'm ready.
All right. Until the next time.
Be blessed. Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Married into Crazy podcast with Snooks and Lovey. Please like, subscribe to, and review the show wherever you access it, and tell a friend about us. Visit marriedintocrazy.com and see how Snooks and Lovey can bless your marriage directly.